Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Novia Zumrotul Amanah. I'm from the third semester of English Education Study Program B, and my ID number is 15. And now, I will answer the English Literature mid-test questions. Literature is a term used to describe written and sometimes spoken material. Literature most commonly refers to works of the creative imagination, including poetry, drama, fiction, non-fiction, in some instances, journalism, and song. I agree, because literature allows a person to step back in time and learn about life on earth from the ones from walked before us. We can gather a better understanding of culture and have a greater appreciation of them. We learn throughout the ways history is recorded, in the forms of manuscripts and through speech itself. No, I think literature cannot exist without language, because from language it can be developed into literature. Language and literature are intertwined. Literature plays an important role with society, because with literature they can pour their thoughts into poetry, drama, or whatever. Through literature, people can become aware of important problems within themselves and realize that they are responsible for changing themselves. The first is, studying literature also means that we explore science in the form of thoughts that have been reflected by the author. And the second is, we can gain insight from ideas about the world and reality that the author describes out language. And the third is, mentally train so that they dare to appear in public. And the fourth is, make it easier for you when reading and writing scientific papers. And the last is, builds critical thinking skills and respect difference. I have read the novel Bumi Manusia by Pramudia Anantatur. The first is Emily Bronte by the novel Wuthering Heights, and the second is Virginia Woolf by the novel To the Lighthouse, and the third is Jane Austen by the novel Pride and Prejudice. And I will tell you about Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. The story begins with the Earnshaw family. This family has two children, Henley and Catherine. One day, coming home from his trip, Mr. Earnshaw brought a very dirty, tattered, and black-sided boy orphan. His name is Heathcliff. Heathcliff immediately became Mr. Earnshaw's favorite child. He was friendly with Catherine, while Henley hated him very much. Mr. Earnshaw's treatment of Heathcliff makes Henley connect them all. His father sent Henley to continue school, and Mr. Earnshaw nurses poor Heathcliff and teach him. However, when Mr. Earnshaw dies, Henley returns home with his wife and starts bullying Heathcliff, and Heathcliff and Catherine become rebellious against Henley. One day, while Heathcliff and Catherine were walking around Thrushcross Grange, the residence of Linton family, Catherine was injured. The Linton family helped and cared for her, but they expelled Heathcliff, and Catherine spent several weeks at Thrushcross Grange, where she met the sons and daughter of Linton family, Edgar and Isabella. Upon her return from Thrushcross Grange, she became a different girl, gentler and more graceful. Catherine continues her relationship with Edgar and Isabella. When Edgar proposed to her, she said yes, and scarce fight Heathcliff feeling for her. She loved Heathcliff with all her soul, but didn't choose him as husband because of her circumstances. Heathcliff heard his decision to marry Edgar. He was angry and disappeared for 3 years. After 3 years, he came back, but he has changed. No trace of neediness could be seen in him. He became an educated and rich man. Catherine, who has since been married, has moved to follow her husband in Thurskirk Grange. Very happy with Heathcliff's return, she asked him to befriend Heathcliff, even though she knows Edgar has always had Heathcliff's character. But it didn't take long when Catherine realized that she couldn't befriend Heathcliff and still married Edgar. Heathcliff returned with the plan of a revenge against Henley and Edgar, who he hated so much. But he also came back with just much love for Catherine. He loves and hates as well. The battle continued in Heathcliff's soul. Thank you very much for watching this video. May all of this if you have shares be beneficial for all of us. I think enough from me. If there is a word wrong or misspelling of the word, I apologize for a large amount. Have a nice day and see you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.